Hi, how are ya? Welcome to show 144. That is a gross of shows, which may or may not have been as gross as I think they might have been, depending on how you feel about it at the time. That's Tobias, and here we are again. We'll see how it goes. Today is going to be a blues show. I'm going to be doing some blues, and then I'm going to be doing some other stuff, and we're going to see how it all works out. Could, of course, all go horribly wrong. Let's watch. So the first one is going to be Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, which I initially heard on MTV's Unplugged, of all places. Eric Clapton. Once I lived the life of a millionaire. Had all my money, didn't have any cares. I took my friends out for a mighty good time. Drank bootleg liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. Didn't have no friends, had nowhere to go. If I get my hands on $1 again, I'm gonna squeeze her till that old eagle grins. 'Cause nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. And as for friends, you don't have any. When you get back on your feet again, everybody wants to be a long-lost friend. I know it's strange, without any doubt, but nobody knows you when you're down and out. Pocket, not one penny. And as for friends, you don't have any. When you get back on your feet again, everybody wants to be a long-lost friend. I know it's strange, without any doubt, but nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you when you're down and down. Yeah, not a bad start. Not a bad start. Hey, I'd like to welcome all three of the folks who are watching this right now. My small yet mighty core audience today on a Blue Monday. I was not planning to go into work today, but that changed because, well, it's Monday and stuff breaks. So I got to go do things. So much things, in fact, that I completely and utterly failed to notice that it was time for lunch. So I spent a half day in the office and then came back here and did this thing. Well, not this thing, but a bunch of other things. And this was part of it, what I did. Simply because I do this anyway. This is fidgeting, you know? That's the way it works. I am working on some hobbies that allow me to fidget without making more noise. Lockpicking, as a matter of fact. I got this a while ago. It is a little translucent clear padlock where you can see all the pins and the appropriate tools for it. And I'm getting almost to the point of incompetency with this. There's something very, very satisfying about being able to open a lock that may not want you to open it. But that's aside from the point. The next song is one I wrote specifically for Steampunk November, which did not happen this year, but fate's willing, might very well happen next year. It is the Underfunded Steampunk Blues, and I have a different set of glasses to wear for them. I've been wearing my steampunk glasses, you know, the goggle light glasses, but I found these, which I've had. I don't know if this is going to show up on the camera or not. I have had these since the early 80s because my parents took me to Epcot. And this is back when Epcot was brand new and it had like 3 countries. And we went to all 3 of the countries. I think it was England and Japan and one more that I completely don't remember. And I got these really funky, nifty, hologram clockwork glasses. In case you're wondering, when light is shining directly onto them, yeah, can't really see a darn thing. But they look awesome, and as long as I don't walk into trees and stuff, I'll be okay. Turn that light off, so a chance of doing this. Now, this is a blues in 12-bar blues in C. It's not really officially finished because there's a verse in here that is very kind of topical. Well, I got me an orthopter, baby, but I'm missing a few gears. I said I got me an orthopter, mama, but I'm missing a few gears. I'm gonna get that sucker flying, but it just might take a couple years. I got me an army sub of ship, mama, but the rigging's kinda torn. So I got me an army surplus ship, mama, but the rigging's kinda torn. I've been looking for parts for it, but it was manufactured years before I was born. I got them low budget, underfunded steampunk blues. I'd have an army of fanatical minions, mama, but I can't afford their union dues. I need an ancient treasure or some kind of gullible venture capitalist that I can use. Bridge. Broken bridge. Combustion orchestra. Yes, that's my shout out to the External Combustion Orchestra, who have the song Giant, Giant, Giant Mechanical Crabs, which is a glorious thing, not only in the subject matter, but the fact that when they perform it, they deliberately sing. The lead female singers deliberately offset their pitches by just enough to be just the side of, did they mean that, or what the heck is going on? And these really are awesome glasses. I will be wearing these to Steampunk November. If I can find an optometrist willing to do so, I'd love to get these into a more durable set of frames, because these are really, really flimsy. I mean, this was like $8 in 1982, I think. Something like that. Still, it was an excuse to wear the glasses, and I'm happy about that. Put these away for now. I'll get you back later. I have some other glasses over here. Matter of fact, I just got myself some new... reading glasses, but I'm not entirely certain about the prescription. I'm not sure if this is really the right for me, so we'll take those off. Put those on later. What? Don't you have a collection of, novelty glass eyewear where you live? Why not? I do. But then, too, I'm weird. The next song in what we're doing here is Victim of Physics, which is based off of this here internet post from the interwebs. And I'm actually going to attempt to read it out loud because it's worthy of reading out loud. It says, "Yesterday, I scalded my hand at work when boiling water sloshed over the side of the mug. I made some joke about being clumsy and the kind scientist who was offering me first aid. To the kind scientist who was offering me first aid. He then looked me in the eye and said in the most serious tone, we are all victims of physics." Yes, indeed. The Rubbermaid Container of Doom. Ashley, I am me your address. We want to send you a holiday card. You already got it? Never mind. Trying. Sometimes I try to help and I fail miserably, and that's okay. That's the way this all works out, one way or the other. But Victim of Physics is one of those that I wrote, and I knew I wanted to write a blues tune for it because it was Victim of Physics. I mean, let's be honest, that's a blues song just waiting to happen. And I did some very minimal research, and I found yet another way to do a chord progression for the blues on the ukulele, which is, yeah, Amy's on it. She's much better at this than I am. And there's a D7 chord here, but there's also what they call a Hawaiian D7, which is this. It's this fret and this fret on this string, like that. And I realized that this one gives me kind of a nice little bougie-woogie tune here. Well, I'm a victim of physics. Gravity just gets me down. Well, I'm a victim of physics. Inertia's just pushing me around. My coefficient so close to zero, I'm a laughingstock in this town. Well, I'm a victim of physics. No lever could be too long. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My weak force just ain't that strong. I got no emotion from motion for the duration of this song. I lost that primal spark. My quarks don't want to work. I'm so darn disconnected, can't even work a tune and fork. Oh, baby! I'm as side as a scientist can be. I gotta call myself peerless, cause not a single peer will review me. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My vector's a crooked line. Well, I'm a victim of physics. Relatively speaking, I don't feel fine. I got a single detection theory, but I can't resolve why I still whine. We'll get there. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My life is out of scope, so sound the alarm. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My quark's the only thing that has any charm. I can't attract another body, just got my entropy to keep me warm. And it's degrading! I lost it. I've gone fishing for some light. My fusion's not so bright. I search for the event horizon. There ain't a single one inside. Oh, baby! It's cathode tip that's just plain stuck. It ain't centripetal the force, baby, it's my life. It just plain sucks. That was a little wobblier than intended, and for this reason, I had edited this particular set of verses earlier in the day, and it reset itself on me, fiendish Evernote, because I had moved the peer review line to the first reprise and had moved the centripetal force line to the second reprise, and then it put it back. My technology is conspiring against me, and won't you please help? That's been what today has been about a lot. A lot of people have had a lot of issues with technology, and my brain has not been firing on all cylinders. I've had caffeine, I've had food. I'm just not sure what's going on. But that's okay. 144 shows in, and this was the first, and we make the error on the third song. We're doing well, I think. I should tell you guys about something. Yeah, I'm going to have to tell you guys. I'm going to show you guys something, actually. I'm going to drop into studio mode because I'm going to make this edit on a song here that I am not doing. And because, as of today, we are officially launching a new project. A project which I may have mentioned to some of you and may not have mentioned to some others of you. Because what it is, you see, is that about April or so, I made a one-time offhand post about how there really needs to be a death metal song entitled Per My Last Email. Some of you may have seen it. As with many things, it came into my head and then it, just went away somewhere. But I mentioned this, I posted this, and my friend Ron, who is a musician and has been part of a number of death metal projects and bands, including Infanticide, Absolute Darkness. He was the guy behind the app for the 70,000 Tons of Metal show cruise. Said, well, write some verses and then let's see what happens. And I wrote some verses. And he wrote some music, and he recorded some music, and he played 2 guitars, and bass, and drums, and we had a song suddenly, and we enjoyed it, and he said, hey, you know something? I don't have any other projects going on. How would you feel about helping me write some more comedic death metal songs? There's a phrase you don't often hear, although it's out there. And we'll see what happens. And then we did. So what that means is that as of today, we are in the pre-launch phase for the project known as Thud Bucket. There's the album right over there. We're going to be putting this out on CD Baby and distributing it on the everything. There is, in fact, if you look up Thud Bucket spelled that way on the YouTubes, there is a video already out, and there is, in fact, a Thud Bucket Facebook page. We have 10 songs on the album WTAF, Death Metal You Can Laugh At. And the Ominous Positivity is the first one. We're working on more videos, and it's going to be out everywhere. And, me and death metal, not two concepts you tend to consider going together, but they meshed really well. Had a lot of fun doing this. And yes, that is me. We had some other ideas for pictures for the cover, but we had some issues, so, well, this is what we got, and that's okay, because it's literally two guys half a continent apart making music. Weird music, I will grant you, about things, important things that are near and dear to all of us, like the pandemic, like being stuck at home in lockdown, like trying to get home before the fries get cold. It's a big one. Ominous Positivity is the single, the first one track out of our album. It is on the YouTube under Thud Bucket, which is up there. And that's the song where we try to make you feel better about yourself. Or else. Seriously. So check that out. Aren't you all glad you hung out for that part? I'm actually pretty happy about how I managed to get that to work, so I'm feeling kind of proud of myself now. One more song in this set. Don't worry if you came in late. I'm big on reruns. I know this. I'm big in syndication. You can always check it out afterwards. But let's go ahead. We are going to end pretty today because it's a Monday and we need to end pretty. We are going to end with a Jimmy Buffett song, one of my faves, and maybe one of yours. It is one of his Tin Pan Alley style songs, and it's just glorious. Assuming I can get it. There we go. This is what really made me think that he must have composed some of his stuff on a ukulele. Because this is all like real easy chords on a ukulele. Granted, there's only four strings, so how hard can it be, right? It can be really hard. Seriously, wow. You can really injure yourself with this. Moonlight and magnolia, starlight in your hair, all the world's a dream come true. Told you it was going to be pretty. Did it really happen? Was I really there? Was I really there with you? Swing time. We lived our little drama. We kissed in a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. Forget the glamour. Your eyes held the tender light, and stars fell on Alabama last night. And F, C, and then G. I never planned in my imagination a situation so heavenly. A fairyland where no one else could enter, and in the center just you and me. I hit the beat, dear, my heart beat like a hammer. My arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. Let's see if we can make this bridge happen. I don't know. Well, good luck. Here we go. Oh my God. It worked. And A, D, G, C. We lived our little drama. We kissed on a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. And A, D minor, and G. I can't forget the glamour. Your eyes are the tender light, and stars fell on Alabama last night. And C, and then the G. I never planned in my situation, a situation so heavenly, a fairyland where no one else could enter, and in the center just you and me. Hear my heart beat like a hammer, my arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. Whoo! The rhymes, it's true, Joseph, the rhymes do rely upon a certain phrasing. However, an awful lot of it is based on talking Southern. And specifically East Coast Southern, because much like many other places, a great deal of speaking East Coast Southern has to do with not quite finishing all your words. Letting the words just kind of roll out on their own. It's almost a French kind of intonation. We could talk about accents all day. Love accents. Most of the accents I know really well are not the civilized, cultured, Georgia, that Southern there. Most of mine are the fast, high-pitched, up in the mountains, oh dear God, they're coming at us kind of thing up there when you get up there like that there, because I used to live up in Tennessee, and people in Tennessee, they talk like this a whole lot. They talk a lot faster than you might think, and in Texas, it's just too dang hot to talk about that fast. And the further south you get, then the hotter it gets, and the slower you wind up pronouncing your words, and that's one of the reasons why there's some guys that are real good drivers on NASCAR, but they enunciate, and there's no place for that in NASCAR. But we digress. And so we have come to the end of another lovely, I tell you, Troubadork non-commute show. As I have said before, we're going to keep this up until such time as I have to go into work in the office every day, because this is the time I would normally spend driving home from that way. It is that way, literally that way. Thank y'all for hanging out with me again. Those of you who are watching this live, those of you who are watching it on reruns, because I know I'm big in syndication. Quick things here. We'll do the paperwork and kind of get that through. The plugs and all that, the tip jars are where they usually are. PayPal.com/theadequate. Venmo is @theadequate. And I want to make sure to thank Eric and Robert and Rick and Emily and Miranda for tossing some money in the bucket. Some of them have done that more than once, and that makes me question their judgment, but not as much as I question the judgment of my Patreon peeps. And that's Chris and Teppo and Shay and Cascuro and Linda and Ann and Stephen and Robin, Alicia and Relly and BK and Kaylee and Richard and John and Brian and Lorene, who is also my editor on the Artisanal Gibberish book, which is being republished through Paper Angel Press and Practical Content. Oh my gosh. We're going to do that. We're going to do the second volume as well. I am also in the process of recording the audiobook for Artisanal Gibberish. I will one day forgive myself for putting those words to paper now that I have to read them clearly. If you're at a festival, as long as you get from one end of the thing to the other end, no one's really worried. But if you're doing an audiobook, they actually want to hear all the words. Yeah. In exchange for this support, they get stuff, buttons and books and previews of songs and stuff like that. And the $10 a month, You're So Damn Smart, write a song about this level, which certain people still need to tell me what to write a song about, and I will write a song about them. I'm looking at you, Rob, and Kaylee. Am I even pointing at the camera at this point? I can't tell. The $2 a month is the world's cheapest ad budget, and anything, if you are giving me $2 or more, and you got something to promote, put it down here. Chris actually promoted the Getting Out the Vote stuff. Paper Angel Press and Practical Content are part of my $2 a month thing. The rest of y'all, you've been supporting me this long. Let me know. I'll put stuff down here. I got no shame. Let's see, the archives are over here at facebook.com and twitch.tv/Tobias the Adequate, youtube.com/MPLEGARE. Recorded stuff that I can't do here, as well as some previews of songs, are over at soundcloud.com/Matthew-Laguerre. Ask Philo. I had an issue with Ask Philo last week, and I accidentally released 2 podcasts instead of 1. So technically, I'll be releasing one of these podcasts, podcast number 11, again this week. But you can go check them out at anchor.fm/The Adequate and The Adequate Podcast. And every time you listen to one, I get a penny. Yep. Been doing podcasting now for about 2 years, maybe 3. And I now have enough to get a combination platter with 3 tacos, man. I am living the podcast dream. I did mention the other project, which is Thud Bucket, and that is there. This will show up on CD Baby soon. We're in pre-release mode, but if you look up Thud Bucket on Facebook or on YouTube, you will find us. It's 2 guys and a lot of bizarre content, and have some fun with it. I will warn you, it is the loudest thing I've participated in. It does sound pretty dang awesome, but it is also really stinking loud. And that's it. That's everything. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me again. Without you here, making comments and interacting with me, I have even less of a reason for being here. So, y'all help to justify my continuing to do this, and I appreciate that a great deal. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Take care. Keep hope. Keep hope alive. This is the kind of hope that gets dirt under its fingernails, and, if it gets into a fight, it sees absolutely no problem with picking up a roll of quarters and just... Anyway, that's about it. I'm going to go downstairs and make dinner. Y'all have been wonderful. Once again, I have been Tobias the Adequate. Thank y'all for encouraging my behavior, and I will talk to you tomorrow. See you then.